Welcome to the lesson. Today I'm going to show you the pentatonic scale, the minor pentatonic, minor because the third is flat. And the pentatonic scale, specifically the minor, is used in blues a lot. So when I play it, you're going to say, that sounds bluesy. It's because it is. The formula for this, if you go back to intervals, the way that you play this, got the root note. We're gonna play the root note on the 6th string on fret number 5, and the third tone is going to be the flat third. Actually, for the pentatonic, this is going to be the second tone. So we're not playing the natural scale anymore. This is the pentatonic scale. So in the major scale, if we start on the 6th string, fret number 5, and we play the major scale format, remember the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we're not going to play those notes. We're not even going to play 7 notes. The pentatonic scale only has 5 tones instead of 7, so we're dealing with 2 less. And so I guess in some respects this is easier to learn. So, and the scale is this. It's going to be 1 flat third. So we're skipping the second altogether. 4, 5, skipping the 6 and going straight to the flat 7. And then root, octave. Now I'm going to move closer so that you can see what my fingers are doing. I like having a chair that's on wheels for this. Adjust the camera a little bit. You'll also be able to hear me better on this electric guitar that I don't have plugged into an amp. But basically, here's the pattern. So, oh, by the way, ignore that bottom string here. This is actually a 7-string guitar, which is pretty cool. So on tabs, the strings would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But on a 6-string guitar, like you have, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the second to the last string for me is actually going to be string number 6. And then the 7th. But here's what it looks like, the pentatonic minor. Got the 1st, flat 3rd, because the 2nd is skipped, 4th, 5th, skip the 6th, minor 7, octave. And then from there it just repeats. See, kind of bluesy sounding. So the blues primarily uses this pentatonic scale to play their music. So try it out with me. 1, flat 3rd, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3rd, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, flat 3rd, and then go back down it. It's easy not just because there's 2 less notes than the natural scale, but this is very box-like. It's really easy to memorize, and once you see the attachment with this written out in tablature, you'll see it's very simple. So I'm basically on the 6th string. I'm using my index finger, then my pinky, index finger, ring finger, index finger, ring finger, index finger, ring finger, index finger, pinky, index finger, pinky. That's it. Now the next part of this lesson is the more difficult part. I'm going to introduce you to bending notes. So a common place to bend notes in the blues scale, or the pentatonic minor scale, is going to be on this tone right here, which is going to be the 3rd string, 7th fret. And we're going to bend it up to this note, which is going to be the 9th fret. That note right there. See that? That's 1 whole step. So we're going to bend up 1 whole step. It's going to sound like this. Now you're going to have to use your ear a lot to bend notes, okay? So when it sounds right, still flat, that's sharp. Now it's a little flat. See, you can go all over the place in this, and this really takes a well-trained ear, and the only way you can really train your ear is to just keep playing it and to compare the notes. So compare these notes, the whole step one, and then try to get this to sound exactly the same. Just like that. And then you can also do a half step instead of the whole step. Got the half step. Bend up to that. Try to match that note. We got this. Now we're going to bend. Back to the whole step. Now notice what I'm doing right now is I'm not even playing the bend duration. I'm just picking and going straight to the note. The other thing I want you to do is play the note, let it ring out throughout the bend duration also. You should be able to do this both ways. So you've got the whole step and a half step. Just like that. So practice your bending like that. And you can also use all your fingers, not just your ring. Your ring is the one that people use the most when they bend, but you want to toughen up all your fingers. So you can also practice with your middle. You can practice bending with your index finger. You can practice bending with your pinky. The pinky is probably the second most one used for bending, because with the pinky you got the support of all of your other fingers. So practice bending with all four. And that's today's lesson. You got the pentatonic note, or the pentatonic scale, minor. It's minor because it's got the flat third. And the bending. That was flat. You can hear it. That was dead on. Then a half step. And then, of course, bending up. That's today's lesson. It's a hard one. The bending is going to give you a lot of trouble. It gives everybody a lot of trouble. I had a heck of a time getting it for a while, but just practice it consistently and use your ear a lot, and you will get it. And you'll add a lot more flavor to your music. Anybody can play notes, but if you can add bends and you can add vibratos I'll go over in a future lesson, but if you can do that sort of thing and attack your note in different ways with a pick, then that's what really gives your guitar playing its own character, its own soul, and your own touch. So get this bending down.